So day one of the Vancouver Sevens is done and dusted, and now day two, just around the corner. Samoa taking on New Zealand, one of the group stage matches that we were lucky enough to see last week in LA. Now we get to see it again as part of the group stages once again. But in this preview, we will be looking through at previous fixtures, players to watch out for in both of the team squads, and then our prediction of who will be able to go on and win this matchup. But first of all, like I mentioned, looking at previous fixtures. Now, New Zealand started the competition extremely well. They were head-to-head with the USA, and they were victorious 52 points to nil. Their second highest ever victory over the US Eagles. So a brilliant way to start their competition. And it did seem like from that result, a similar one could be just around the corner in their game up against Spain, but that wasn't the case. Spain actually took the lead early in that contest. New Zealand were able to fight back in the second half, get themselves the victory, 17 points to 7, but it was by no means easy. I think New Zealand will be thankful for that, as it did show them that they weren't quite as invincible as they would have felt throughout that game up against the US, but they still should have some good form heading into the next game where they will be playing the Samoans. And the other benefit is they are the only side in that group to have won 2 games. So it means that no matter what, they should be pretty well secured into the quarterfinals. Then for Samoa, their first game was up against Spain, also a relatively challenging one, but the Samoans able to win it 31 points to 19. And then they had their next game up against the USA, who were just coming off that 50-plus point loss, like I mentioned. There's always 2 things that can happen to a side who are defeated by that large of a margin. They either continue losing badly or they fire back. Well, the USA, they were able to fire back very well, getting themselves the win up against the Samoans, 14 points to 12. So it now means going into the last round of Pool A, Samoa need to get themselves the victory here over New Zealand to have a shot of going through to the quarterfinals. That is also reliant on what happens in Spain versus USA, which will be happening just a little bit prior to this game. It is going to be kicking off at 11:13 a.m. So nice time on a Sunday morning here in New Zealand. But now looking through at the key players for both of these sides. Now for New Zealand, it's pretty tough to pick just 2 players who are in form at the moment, and that is because of that first victory up against the USA. So many players scoring. Here's the list of try scorers from that first match. Amanaki Nicole, Moses Leo, Leroy Carter got 2, Narohi McGarvey-Black got 2, Lewis Ormond and Brady Rush. There's 7 different try scorers. But I am going to go with the 2 players who were able to score themselves the doubles. Leroy Carter and Narohi McGarvey-Black just doing a little bit better than their teammates, being able to get the doubles. And if we're sticking with the trend of 2 tries or more, we've got to go with Moses Leo as the third option. He was able to score 2 up against Spain in the 9th minute and in the 11th. And they were the ones that helped New Zealand get over the line, alongside a nice try near the end by Akulia Rokalisoa. But now for the Samoans, in their first game up against Spain, Owen Nue able to get himself 2 tries, both in the first half, the 2nd and the 5th minute. So we will go with him. Another player who's got 2 tries, Paul Scanlon. They were both scored up against the USA, and yes, it wasn't enough to get themselves the victory, but it was certainly an impressive performance. Now, we did see him go off a little bit earlier, I thought, than they would have wanted to take him off. So hopefully there's no sort of injury lurking for Paul Scanlon, and he will be able to continue. He's also a kicking option that the Samoans can use if he is match fit. He will certainly be a key for them. And then the last player, I've been going with the double try scenario. There's no more double try scorers, but the thing is, it's not just about the tries that you score, it's about how you get there. And a player who does very well in helping set up Samoa for tries is Va'a Maleko. He seems to be the only Samoan player at the moment who's willing to get into that breakdown, risk giving away a penalty, but also have the opportunity of getting that ball back for Samoa. They lack possession in their game up against the USA, which is something precisely that Brian Lima said that they need a lot more of if they want any chance of winning in Vancouver compared to what they had in LA. So I think that is certainly going to be something that Va'a Maleko can help his side with. Can also score tries. He got one up against Spain. Wouldn't be surprised if he got one up against the Kiwis, just like he did in the Cape Town Sevens final. But I think those are the 3 Samoans who are certainly key for Manu Samoa to go on and win this contest. But now, speaking of winners and losers, we're up to the prediction stage. Every time we get to this point, it gets more and more tricky for me to pick a winner. Not so much because of who I think's going to win, but more of the fact that anytime I say a team's going to win, they always lose. So perfect example is last week in the LA Sevens. I said that New Zealand were going to beat Samoa. Samoa beat New Zealand. I then went with the opposite, which was a big mistake in the end because I said that Samoa would beat Argentina. Samoa then lost. It's happened in pretty much every competition. So it's the question of, do I back New Zealand to win and see the Samoans win, or do I back the Samoans and see New Zealand win? Is my trend of getting the wrong team going to break soon? That's the other side of things. I'm going to say New Zealand win this game by 5. And as you can see, I'm extremely confident in that prediction because I couldn't predict my way out of a wet paper bag. I probably would have said Fiji would have beaten Uruguay. And then that would have been the one time that Uruguay were able to get themselves a victory. That actually happened in Vancouver, by the way. Massive upset of the Fijians with Uruguay getting the victory. But my predictions, not the best. I'll leave it to the ones who normally get it right. And that is you guys in the comment section. Do let me know who you think will be victorious in this matchup, Samoa or New Zealand. Do let me know the winning margin as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be doing the live commentary for this matchup, so be sure to stick around for that as well. If you did enjoy this preview, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.